impulse to the aircraft to release the bolts holding the cockpit's canopy in place. A set of small rockets in the front then push the canopy up and out of the pilot's way. Then, an explosive cartridge underneath the seat goes off to catapult the pilot out of the cockpit. This initiates the seat's rocket boosters, which propel the pilot 100 to 200 feet upward. Sensors within the seat measure the plane's speed and the ambient air pressure to determine whether the pilot is at a low altitude and the parachute needs to be deployed immediately, or whether they're at a higher altitude and the parachute needs to be delayed until they reach thicker air. In the latter case, the seat will still deploy a smaller chute known as a drogue, which helps lower the pilot's rate of descent and stabilize the seat from careening into a deadly spin. Once the main parachute is deployed, a motor automatically fires, finally releasing the pilot from the seat. This entire process exerts 14 to 16 times the force of gravity on fighter pilots' bodies.
Because you got to remember, this thing's going to go up the rails. It's a catapult, and it's going to fire you up about 50 feet per second. And then the rocket's going to go off. And depending on where you are and what seat you're in, it's 5 to 20 Gs going up those rails. And within 2 to 4 seconds, depending on what mode of flight you're in, you're going to have a full parachute. Once you're in a full chute, the game's not over yet. Those are things that come into the survival piece once you're in a chute. Am I in training? Am I in combat? And also in that is kind of an awareness of what you can expect. I went on around 400 miles an hour. And for me, what I will say about any ejection, I don't care how slow or how fast it's extremely violent. To this day, I can remember my body position. The one thing that can get in the way is this, and that decision. Do I go now? Do I go later? Do I try to save the jet? That's where you get yourself in trouble. You just got to know, and that's why we have these rules. If something goes wrong, I can't hesitate. I got to go. You've got to be willing to pull that handle, you know what I'm saying, and trust it.